Washington Football Live. Practice would normally be at 9 a.m., but today, because of the weather, it's wet, and the coach wants to make sure that the players get used to practicing outside, not being in the bubble. They pushed it back to 11:30, but we are here at 9 a.m. doing this, and it is time now for the X's, presented by Pepsi. Santana, I hate doing roster projections, but this is what we're going to do. I am putting you through this. Everybody at home, tweet us, join us in the conversation. First off, we're going to start with who had the best camp. We're trying to focus on defense for this one as well, but I think we're going to sway a little bit.
Yeah, we might sway a little bit, but I think since with the X's, we start with the X's, I'm gonna talk about someone on the defensive side. Chase Young name goes out there a lot, and we've been raving about him day in and day out. But I think it's two guys' names that I have in mind. You have Apke and you have Darby. Darby has been one of those guys that I questioned coming here because I wanted to know what his role would be with us, knowing that we needed defensive backs. And he's been everything that I've wanted him to be. He's showed up every week. He's been a guy that's constantly getting his hands on the ball. So I'm looking forward to him having a great season this year with us.
We know every part of the team needs to be beefed up from last season, but we know that secondary. I think it's going to be better than many people are thinking because there is so much attention on the defensive front there. I'm going to go with the interior defensive lineman. I'm going to say Daron Payne. I think he is a player that is just going to absolutely love the change of scheme going to the 4-3. It is going to have him have that freedom to get off the ball. He already is a player coming to his own before and a standout, but I think in this scheme specifically, he has the opportunity to really kind of be a monster in a sense. So I'm going to go with Payne for this one. How about your sleeper?
My sleeper, he's pretty interesting because, like I spoke about him earlier, Apke has been a guy that I had, nothing in mind of what they wanted to do with him, just knowing that he hasn't really showed up. Last year he played a little well, in some of those spots. He got an interception, so I was happy to see him go out there and get his feet wet in that category. But just knowing they brought in Sean Davis, I didn't expect Apke could be the guy that everyone is talking about to be our starting free safety. So he's the sleeper. He's the guy I'm pretty sure everyone didn't have on their radar, and now he's here, and I think he's going to be here to stay. I think he's putting in enough work and showed up enough on film that these coaches think highly of him and think that he can, be a guy that they can count on back there.
Every time we keep hearing coaches mention his name, sometimes a few people are kind of like, really? We knew he was fast. But he's making a very good case to be legit on that field for a good amount of time. And when you ask coaches about him, they say, look, sometimes just, a new look, fresh coaches, it gives you a different life. And I think it's been doing that for Apke. I'm going to say Sean Hamilton because I think it's a little bit of the same. We've been waiting for him to have a breakout season and to really emerge and kind of play up to the potential, the expectations, but he hadn't really necessarily. And right now, he's looking like he's going to be one of your starters right there in the middle of the linemen. So I would say Sean Dion. And one of the things, too, is he's a relatively quiet player, and so he's learning to find his voice much more, and I think this scheme is fitting him. So I look for big things for Sean Dion coming up. How about best-looking rookie? Not named Chase Young, because we know everybody out there wants to say Chase. That's just too easy. We have to make it a little bit more difficult.
It's a layup every time. I mean, I know we like to keep things on script, and I'm an offensive guy, so I'm going to get off the script a little bit, and I'm going to tell you the best named rookie, and it has to be no other than AG. Gibson has shown a lot, this camp. His versatility is one thing, his ability to pick up the things that coaches have given him. That's giving everybody, those putting those antennas up and letting it be known that he can be a guy that we can depend on. We came into the season saying that should this guy get more reps in the backfield, will he be on the outside? We know that he's going to be a running back, but now with the things that he's been able to intake and go out there and show up on the field, they might be leaning on this guy to play more than they expected. So he's been the other rookie outside of Chase Young to me.
Yeah, I think you have to stretch a little bit for defense. It's easier on offense. Of course, they did draft more offensive guys out there as well. I'm going to go, since you said Antonio Gibson, which I would agree with you on, I'm going to say AGG, Antonio Gandy Golden. Now, he hasn't been out there for a couple of days throughout camp because he was hurt, but it's minor. But when he is out there, I think it's going to be a little bit of a learning curve as well to kind of get up to the speed and everything.
Yes.
But the tall stature of him, the physicality of him, the way that he goes out there, I think he's been a bright spot, and he's going to be relied upon as well, same as Antonio Gibson. How about a bubble guy, most likely to make the practice squad? And this is a little tricky this season. Because of COVID, you have, 16 guys in the practice squad. I think you get 6 vets that are out there. Yeah. So it's a little more difficult to pick who this player would be.
Yeah, it's a toss-up again when it comes to what side I want to stick on or talk about. So I'm going to go with the offense. I know we talking about X's right now, but I think my bubble guy, and he's a huge bubble guy because I'm not sure what they're going to do in this area with this core. But Cam Sims, I think he's a guy that for the last few years he's shown up in the preseason. One year he had the dropsies a little bit, and then he had health problems. This year his name has resurfaced, and he's been showing a lot of moments where he's making a lot of key plays. We're not sure who the second guy is. We have in mind who should be, just knowing. But Cam could be that guy. He can be that guy that we lean on and push for that second wide receiver spot. So he's a bubble guy to me because I know we have a couple of other names there that they're going to probably lean on before him. But he's shown up a lot, so he's going to be my bubble guy.
I didn't really have a name written in for this one, so I'm just going to say copy what you said.
Yeah.
Is that okay? It's like I'm cheating. I'm just going to write it right on in. How about best standout defensive player?
The best standout defensive player, I mean, I'm going to go with the guy that we've been talking about, for the entire camp. It's Chase Young. I think Chase Young, I put him there because it's easy to say him, but it's not easy also because he has the most pressure coming in, knowing that he's basically our defensive savior right now. We understand what we have in the front line with all the other guys, and he come in to solidify that. And he's been everything that we expected. Even with a couple of days off with a hip flexor injury, he's come back and shown dominance. Every time he's on the field, he just dominates guys. And they can't get after the quarterback like he would want to. But this guy shows you that when things go live and we able to hit somebody, he's going to be there. So he's going to be a force to reckon with.
All right, you go for that. I'm going to say the guy who really is benefiting a lot from him being there, I'm going to say Montez Sweat. Mm-hmm. A little bit slow to start the season, but I think with Chase being out there, it's motivated him. He's kind of learned how to go into use his body, how to use his strength, and this system is built perfectly for him. You have to have, of course, leaders on this team. And, well, last season, John Allen was a captain. So what about how he is leading the team going forward? Here's Allen.
Do I need to give a speech to the defense about the operation for this drill?
For the 2 minutes? Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Hey, defense, real quick, man. Hey, Landon.
Hey, minute 50 left.
Hey, this drill right here, the way Chico operate, it's about the operation. So we get a pick, just get ready to line back up and keep going. It ain't a we got a pick, we off drill, all right?
All right. We haven't sat down and specifically went over this is what you need to do, this is what you need to do. I just want to be the best teammate I could possibly be. You know what I mean? If I am adopted that leadership role again, great, so be it. If not, I'm here to do my job and I'm here to do it at an effective level. And it really is about the team, man. I'm tired of losing. We're tired of losing. Everyone here is tired of losing. We want to win. And if it's not about winning, I really don't care about it. So I'm just going out there every single day trying to do what I can to help this organization win, like I know we can. That's literally all I care about.
Allen is definitely using his voice more. We saw that a lot last season as well, but he's the kind of player that says, he doesn't like to do all the talking. He doesn't want to have to do all the talking. He just wants to go out there and let his body of work show that. But I do think a true leader, not only does that happen too, but he's not afraid to be able to speak up as well and call his teammates out and hold them accountable.
Yeah, we saw that a lot last year. When things weren't going well and when things was going well, Allen was one of those guys that you can go to and put that mic in front of him. He's going to let it be known. So I'm glad that he shares that with us a lot because a lot of guys don't like to step up in that time.
Mm-hmm. And Thomas Davis Sr., of course, look, when you're in this league for 16 seasons, you do have a leadership that comes with you because you can't survive 16 seasons without that because you have to know how to take care of your body. You have to know how to play well. You have to know how to work your way in onto a team. And that's exactly what he's doing here, being that role model for a lot of the younger guys and still capable of going out there and playing a good amount of time. Who would be your two defensive captains of this team?
I know that you only asked for two, but I got three guys in mind. We just talked about John.
You're just breaking all the rules.
Yeah, I'm breaking all the rules today. Asa said I can do so. So we talked about Allen. Thomas Davis is definitely one of those guys that stand out. But we can't forget about Ryan. Kerrigan. Kerrigan's been a guy that he was here when I was here, and he's still here, and he's still doing it big, putting up big numbers year in and year out. Last year was probably his worst year of his career because of injuries. So he's definitely have to be one of those guys. That's why I had to add him in there because it's easy to say Allen, he was a captain last year. I'm pretty sure Kerrigan has been one too, but I couldn't leave Thomas Davis out. So those three guys on the defensive side with Thomas Davis, Allen, and Kerrigan.
I won't disagree with you. If you do have to choose two, part of me wants to lean towards Thomas Davis, but you do make a very good point that Kerrigan has been here his entire career. Does that matter when guys go to pick someone? Do they want to go with somebody who's been here, or can you go with the new guy?
No, you want to see that guy. You know, it's not about somebody that's just here. You know, you're not going to lean on that guy. You want to go with that guy that you can honestly lean on it and be your leader. That guy that's going to go out there and show you how it's done, and I believe he's one of those guys. He shows up every year, regardless of what's going on, the circumstances, and how good or bad the team is. Kerrigan has been a guy that we've always talked about. So I think that's what, you know, us guys in that room lean on when it comes to finding out who's going to be that captain.
All right, and I know that he has had a significant impact as well on Chase Young.
Yeah.
You ask who Chase Young goes to, and he says RK is right there kind of helping nurture him along as well. And that's what a leader does. You got to pass it on, and Kerrigan is far from done.